Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for the Cuckoo's Fiancee, Chapter 49. When we last left our heroes, Erika decided to arrange a beach trip to try to get to the bottom of what Hiro was getting at when she said that she wished that Nagi was her fiancé instead of her mysterious fiancé, which led to a fun shopping trip between Nagi and Erika, which had some great Nagi-Eri moments, and then they came home, right after having talked about the need to keep their living situation away from Hiro, to find Hiro in their living room, tutoring Sachi. And Nagi realizing that all the cards are now on the table is where we left off last time, so let's jump right on in to the 49th foul. Do it again and I'll put a curse on you, okay? Alright, that's a long line for our for our title line. Our picture here is of Erika in like a Playboy money outfit, gripping a Happy Valentine heart in her teeth, which is a choice, I guess. His crush discovered a secret cohabitation. Curious about Hiro's true intentions and her swimsuit, their beach trip starts now. So now we open with the start of the beach trip. Look, it's the ocean! And we see Erika, Hiro, and Sachi in their respective swimsuits, having arrived at the beach. Erika, it's cold. Hiro says, the sand is so smooth, which, as any good Star Wars fan should know, is very much not the case. And Sachi, look at all the little fish. And we see Nagi's off in the background, face buried in a book, but peeking over it to look at Hiro there. Oh, and then he focuses in on her boobs. Oh, and on her butt. Oh, even like it's very exaggerated, my reading of it. And then Sachi just pops into his field of vision. Wah! Don't just pop up out of nowhere. And Sachi teases him. It's totally obvious that you're ogling it, you know. Makes me go ew inside. And then she takes another look at him. Reading on the beach is nothing sacred. Nonsense. Reading on the beach is the best. You're one to talk. Isn't that your school swimsuit? And Sachi kind of blushes. It's not like I had a choice. This was all I had. And what about those crazy swim trunks of yours? And we see them, and he's got crabs on each of his legs. Where do you buy those? What, don't they just crab your attention? Nagi! That's too good. I love it. That's great. I'm gonna write that down. Next time I'm wearing crab swim trunks. And Sachi just looks at him. Are you for real? And then Sachi goes, turns serious for a minute. So anyway, what did you want to talk about? Right. And he puts the book down. Why did you tell Seigo-san about us living together? I told you at school to keep it a secret, didn't I? And Sachi looks away innocently. Did you, though? I did, didn't I? Wait, did I not? And then Sachi responds, because I asked her to teach me. Eh? On my first term finals, I did worse than I expected. That's why I asked Hiro-san to tutor me. That's gonna get Nagi on your side. Nothing makes Nagi like you more than admitting your academic diligence. But Nagi's a little offended there. If that's what it was, you could have asked me. But Hiro-san's a better teacher than you. What? And then Sachi blushes. Actually, more like, it just can't be you. I think that's calling back to her crush on him, which the less said about, the better. I much prefer the sibling teasing vibe they had in the last 3 pages than that there, but you can go watch all of that, see all of my thoughts on that subject in a prior video. Anyway, Nagi snaps, what's that supposed to mean? And Sachi just kind of deflects, she's already agreed anyway. Besides, aren't you happy about it? Hiro-san will be coming to our place. And Nagi, lying through his teeth, really. That's not the most important thing here, right? Before Sachi can answer, um, Erika calls Sachi away. Sachi-chan, coming. And she leaves Nagi alone, who says, geez, don't just make decisions for all of us. And then he thinks back to what exactly he's doing here. That's right. To find out the truth about Seigo-san's confession. We came here on an exciting seaside vacation. But I can tell. And we see Erika and Sachi call over Nagi. You too, Nagi-kun. Beach volleyball. And Nagi continues. Seigo-san has been subtly avoiding me. If everything had gone smoothly, I would be rubbing sunscreen over Seigo-san right now. Of course is what you're thinking about. And then he kind of turns crestfallen. So how did my vacation turn into a guilt trip? I'm curious who's guilting him, really. Or maybe him guilting Sachi about inviting Hiro. Maybe, I don't know. I'll do it with Hiro-san. No way, I'm with Nagi-kun? Then we've already lost. So yeah, the teams are Erika, Nagi, and Hiro Sachi. Nagi thinks, well, it was my fault I was keeping our living arrangement secret anyway. And Erika asks him, I don't think on the same topic that he's thinking, but now what do we do? Do you want me to ask Hiro-chan about it for you? Oh no, actually, we are in that same it is the topic of the living arrangement. Why? Then we hear Sachi in the distance. Here goes, because this was Daddy's fault to begin with. Nagi looks at her. In that case, my parents are at fault too. And while they're distracted, the volleyball just hits him in the face, and shocking Erika. And Sachi looks at him. Nagi's just spacing out. Maybe something's on his mind? And we see Nagi passed out, like nose bleeding, from like actual injuries, not horniness this time. In any case, I'll do it myself. Okay. And that was Nagi's first, and then Erika. Because now we see the two of them alone on a terrace at the villa. And Hiro speaks first. It's Hiro and Nagi, I should say. And it's Hiro speaks first. So, what do you want to talk about? And Nagi kind of like starts. She knows. And then he says, about living with Amino-san. And then she turns around. You mean about keeping secrets from me, right? That sort of slow turn. The way she just like needles the exact problem. That's some good shit right there. And Nagi kind of freezes. And then like gets on his knees. Please accept my sincere apologies for doing so. However, this was a result of our family's complex relationship. And then Hiro kind of turns away. Along the way, we were forced to live together. By all means, it's not like we live together because we want to. And then he thinks back, I've really started to like it. And then he kind of turns away, embarrassed. Or, I don't think so. And Hiro turns back to him. Kind of like, what looks kind of like contempt, maybe. But it might just be like the way that Nagi is seeing it. So you could come and go whenever you pleased? Yes, that's right. When I invited you on a date, you and Erika-chan were home together. Yes, I'm sorry. You eat dinner together every day, and you've peeped at her in the bathroom. I mean, and he says, yes, I'm sorry, which I don't think he's walked in on her in the bathroom before, in like chapter 5 or whatever, with the lizard, right? But I don't think he ever peeped on her. Also, it says something about shonen culture in general. That's just like a casual thing to ask. Do you casually peep on your roommate? Like, what the fuck? But that is a subject for a much more in-depth video than what we're doing right here. And when you get back home from school every night, you flirt with each other? Yes, I'm sorry. That's an interesting thing for Nagi to say. Oh, and he catches himself. No, we don't do that. That makes more sense. Still, you're living together because you enjoy it, don't you? And he flashes back to Erika. For me, every day has been so much fun. Yes. Back then, you told me of course, didn't you? And he flashes back to way back at the festival. Heroes, no more secrets, okay? And Nagi's kind of silent for a minute before, sorry. I mean, to be fair, Hero's still keeping a secret herself. We still don't know who her fiance is. Um, and then Hiro turns away again. After that, we had a bunch of morning study sessions, and we even went on a date. There were plenty of chances to tell me, weren't there? You're absolutely right. It's just like you said. And then she turns back to Nagi all of a sudden. Gotcha. And Nagi is silent for a minute, and then looks back up at her in surprise. I'm not actually that upset. That's what she's saying. And he's kind of like shocked at that. Though I was still hurt by that. I even thought about backing out today. That's why Umino-kun, and here comes the title line, I predict. And she plucks out a single, like 2 hairs, and kind of rubs his head. Ow. Huh? My hair? Here it is. Do it again, and I'll put a curse on you. Okay? Our, classic, great art, title page, single panel page. You know the type. And then I think he just finished telling the story to Erika. I'm sorry, what? Yikes! And then Nagi trying to boast. No. You see, that just shows how deep my bond with Seigawa-san is. And then Erika thinks, I guess Hiro-chan is pretty oblivious. She probably just went too far with her joke. Thank goodness she forgave you. I was about to lose a dear friend of mine there. And then Erika kind of blushes. But hey, Hiro-chan's feelings for you looks like they're for real. Nagi's still trying to play the cool guy. Damn straight. And just then someone comes in. Are you sure about that? And this is Sachi. For a second there, it's gonna be Hiro, and it's gonna blow the whole thing open. The way I see it, she only sees you as a rival. The bath's open. Sachi? What makes you think that? Because that's just how it is? And Eric kind of leaves them to their bickering. Well then, I'm gonna go take a bath. And then, as she leaves, Nagi kind of changes topics. Come to think of it, Sachi, what do you... and Sachi kind of looks at him confused. And then we go back to Nagi and Hiro's conversation on the terrace. And Hiro asks, and one more thing. It's about Sachi-chan. What sort of little sister is she, Umino-kun? What sort? She's my little sister. She's family. I see. Though Sachi-chan is a strange one, isn't she? I'm curious if we're going to go back to her little scene in 44 about everything could be resolved if Nagi and Sachi got together, which is just was even back then just a really weird line and never went anywhere. So I'm curious if we're gonna get some resolution to that here, or at least some continuation of that. Though Sachi-chan is a strange one, isn't she? I guess so. She's not dumb, but she can be hard to teach, or more like she's stubborn. If you don't want to tutor her, I understand. I could turn her down for you. Then she takes a step and turns back. That's not what I mean. Somehow she seems like she's in love with you. We have to fucking cover this, don't we? And Nagi just up front in the present. Sachi, do you like me? And Sachi blushes. What are you suddenly? Gross! Go die! Ow, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Could it be a bullseye? Next time, Sachi and Hiro on a hair trigger. I really wish we did not end the chapter on a fucking Nagi-Sachi joke. Because those never really land. I just don't know. It's bad. Why? And it still isn't really like that scene in 44 was just so weird to me. because there was no sensible reason for that. Nothing is solved by Nagi and Sachi getting together. It makes no sense for her to want that. And I was thinking, oh, maybe this will like kind of give us a little bit of insight into what was going on in her head in that scene. But no, it still just makes no goddamn sense. It makes no sense, and I've never understood why Hiro occasionally ships Nagisachi is a part of the plot. Um, I don't know. I like the rest of the chapter, I will say. Beyond that not great final scene, we got some good jokes. Um, the bad pun in me the bad pun lover in me, I should say, um, will never not adore crabbier attention. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a long time. Um, and then we see, kind of, um, what is generally a more sibling rapport to Nagisachi, which is how they are most of the time, and why their whole occasionally romantic shit never really lands. Like I've said over and over again for the past 50 chapters now. I don't know. I've said almost everything there is to say about Sachi at this point, unless something changes. I do like Erika's little, bit of kind of looking out for Nagi there. Do you want me to ask Hiro-chan about it for you? But then he does it himself. He kind of like this is all about him. It's mainly a Hiro Nagi thing, and so he's going to be the one to really deal with it. And then we get their scene on the terrace, which I really love. Hiro kind of needling him, almost feels like to figure out exactly how he feels for Erika, especially when she kind of goes into this "when you get back home from school every night you flirt with her" line. Like that feels like she's trying to I don't know, get a sense of where Nagi and Erika are in their relationship, because she's probably into Nagi herself, which again makes her random Nagisachi line so fucking weird. What was going on in 44? Anyway, focusing now. It's been a bad ADHD day for me, so if I feel lost in space and rambling, that's why. And then I like her kind of gotcha that she's not really that upset by it. She understands that in the end, it is their business that they live together. She understands that she's not exactly in the moral clear here. She is also keeping secrets. We still don't know the identity of her fiance. And then I like the kind of like typical. I always kind of dig the teasing Hiro, as we see with the "do it again, I'll put a curse on you." I especially love Erika's reaction to it. It's just like, that's so fucking weird. And Nagi's trying to like play it off how like cool he is, and Erika's just, what the fuck. And then we have the not great Nagisachi scene to end the chapter. Whatevs. But yeah, that's all in all, this is a pretty good chapter as we kind of start this beach arc. And I don't know. Next time, let me reread that blurb. It's like Sachi and Hiro on a hair trigger. I honestly don't know what that's going to be about. I got nothing. I mean, maybe because like we spent, as I recall, pretty much the entire series pretty firmly planted in Nagi's perspective. We learn things as he learns them. And so there was that scene back when Sachi was first touring the school, where she goes off with Hiro, has their own conversation, and they come back like conspiratorially, like buddy or whatever. So maybe next chapter is gonna call back to that. I don't know. I'll kind of have to wait and see. So I'm gonna leave this video off there. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!